If we look at traveler intent, so we're looking at surveys here, leisure travel versus business. Leisure travel, I mean, look how consistent it's been. This is a fantastic chart on the left. Even through, Omicron and all that other stuff, people want to travel. And I don't know if many of you have seen our leisure deck we did a couple months ago, and it really laid out our case to be bullish on leisure travel, particularly in the United States. We know a lot of people are bullish on leisure, but I don't think they're bullish enough. So look at this chart. People still have a high intent to travel for leisure. Business improving. Business is definitely more elastic to Omicron, to COVID, all that other stuff. So you'll see a lot more variability, and things are coming back. We do expect business travel to improve, but the key question is, what are the analysts expecting? Well, they're expecting a full recovery. What are we expecting? We're expecting something less. Maybe it's 15% fewer room nights attributable to white-collar business travel.
Well, what would constitute a deep quad four is basically what we saw, in 2020. The first half, which was obviously very COVID centric, and there was, liquidity questions and what have you for a lot of our space. Tend to think based on, our fundamental view that GLL, most of GLL, even the stuff that we don't like, won't really be in a deep quad micro environment. So maybe most of our stuff tends to outperform, maybe retail and restaurant stuff that's recovered and more levered, if you will. But the stuff that really does tend to underperform in quad four, I think likely would underperform in this upcoming quad four. No reason to believe otherwise, which really comes to the C Corps. And it's a growth business that gets a very, very premium multiple and is exposed to that segment where there's still a lot of questions on, and also for the long term being business travel, and then also for development, more of a cyclical issue probably, but nonetheless questions on that side of the business too. So we go to the C Corps in terms of what would underperform the most. And then on the flip side, OTAs probably look the most, probably have the best ability to weather, a deep quad four environment, just given the leisure exposure and where we are in the recovery with that.
One of the reasons, we got many of them, but one of the reasons we like leisure, and Sean kind of alluded to this, it's leisure travel, overall, or even if you break it down into consumer goods versus consumer services, right? So consumer services have really lagged spending on consumer goods, which makes a lot of sense because you couldn't really travel for a long time, and still there's restrictions on traveling overseas and various places. So, even though the overall macro environment might be quad four, growth slowing, at least leisure, you're still coming back. You're still coming back. There's more room just to get back to 2019 level. That's one aspect of growth. Now, it doesn't stop there for us. I mean, all the household income, household net worth, vacation days accrued. That's a big reason why we think leisure travel will continue to expand. Also, the fact that people don't have to be in the office, and I'm a great example of that. Last year, I went to Charleston for 3 weeks. I was, close to my daughter who's in college, and that was awesome. It was warm. I had a great time. I worked the entire time, did not lose any productivity. But, it was so easy for me to do. We put out 2 decks when I was down there. We did 2 hotel decks when I was down in South Carolina. It was very easy. But that travel, the dollars I'm spending went right to Airbnb, and it's considered leisure travel. So I'm not alone in this. A lot of people are doing this. You can work from anywhere, and that's another boost to leisure travel.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.